Hello and welcome to episode 54, 55?
54, yeah.
54
Yeah.
of Wrong End of the Stick podcast with me, Zach Eaton, and Jonathan Nimmo. Today we've got a bit of an exciting pod. Oh, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited as well. I have to say, I'm very excited by this one. We've got some good stuff to talk about today.
We've
It could
got
be a
some
long
good
one.
stuff, and we've also got a poll
Yes.
coming up after it's been released, which I'm going to be very, it's going to be nail biting stuff.
It really is, and it's going to be interesting. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that, but yeah, that's going to be good. We've got that. We're going to talk a little bit about MS Dhoni first, aren't we? Give a bit of tribute to him, and then we're going to have Seamingly Stumped, of course, because that's just a staple of this podcast. We just give the fans what they want. In fact, literally nobody's ever mentioned that they like Seamingly Stumped, but we like it, therefore it's staying. So, it's going to be good stuff.
I'm looking forward to this, and I think going into the whole MS Dhoni for those that aren't majorly into kind of international cricket and what's been going on. I think was it last week?
It was last week, yeah. It was.
Yeah. So last week, MS Dhoni has announced that he'll be retiring from international cricket, which, if you're the one or two listeners from India, is a huge kind of announcement and really an end of an era to not even arguably one the best kind of international captain.
I feel like you're opening a can of worms on that one, because I'm sure there are arguments to be had there, but it's certainly, he is massive in what he has achieved. There's no doubt in that at all. And it's just he really has sort of become like absolute global superstar.
Yeah, I mean, just for Test match cricket specifically, even though like his ODI and T20 is probably like it's where he kind of stands out, because even before getting to what he does behind the stumps, his batting, his whole cool and calm, but one of the greatest finishers in the world, and can hit the big runs easily. His test average still, a very much respectable 38, six centuries, 33 half centuries, and overall about 476, 876 runs. And then you look at his ODI, averaging 50, 10 centuries, 73 50s. He's led, I think, the Indian team to 3 or 4.
He won the World T20 title in 2007. He got the Test team to #1 ranking in 2010. He won the 50 over World Cup in 2011. He's won the Champions Trophy in it goes on and on and on. And he has become that sort of icon, and you're right, that sort of cool, calm, collected. But also he just seems to control games. And even when he's playing in sort of the IPL now, it just seems that he can just come in and literally just take a game away from a team, or just control it right down to make sure that his team is in a position to win. It's just there's sort of an air of there's an aura around him, isn't there, really, when he comes out to bat, and like the whole world is watching.
100%. And you got it spot on. There is that aura of leadership, and just kind of, he's in control. And if you think about, we've had discussions about wicketkeeper batsmen and averages when you've got the gloves and everything else, and we've been talking a lot about Root's captaincy and about how that's kind of taken a toll. And we look at I think if you looked at a picture of what he was like in 2016, 2017 to what he is now, it's only been a few years, but under the captaincy, that strain. And MS Dhoni is just, apart from the hairstyles and the beard, changing here and there, he's remained someone that looks in touch. He looks in control. He is, someone that the Indian team look at. And you look at Kohli, for example, as a cricketer, and he's got that fight, that competitiveness, that real kind of edge. And in some I think of like, yeah, that's what you want if you're, you know, um, if you're down under and you're against, a pretty sledgy sort of team, and actually, nah, that's all right, we're here, but we've got it.
Yeah.
Dhoni is just consistently just, nah, that's cool. I don't need to rise to it. He'll wag his finger a kind of few times, and then his work behind the stumps is just some of the most phenomenal kind of stumpings that been recorded. If I've been looking at some of the videos, the behind the back kind of stumping, the just it's taking on 50-60 kilometer per hour balls, kind of catching it easy as you like, and boom, right on the stumps. His awareness,
Yeah.
and his batting game is, I think for me, as someone who likes cricket, that's one of my favourite positions, is that wicket keeping batsman who is a little bit down the order, who just comes in and like ups the runs rate, but in Dhoni case, he doesn't even do that. He'll finish the game.
He just, he controls it. He finishes it, and that's one of the things that I liked out when I was sort of reading about him is that he has finished more one-day international run chases than anybody else.
Yeah,
and that just sums him up, really. It really does, and it's that, and his work with the gloves is great, but he's such an innovational batsman as well. The helicopter shot, he basically invented that, or certainly sort of brought it to prominence and things. So there's just there's he's not just one of these sort of KP type people who just comes in and slogs and things, but he's just really controlled, and yeah, it was just absolutely, he's just master of control, I think, is the word that will always come back first when you think of him.
Yeah, I think it's such a silly analogy, but like, if you were sort of in a cricketing crisis and you needed a captain to steer the ship of a bunch of international cricketers, the Indian team or whatever, I'd be thinking Dhoni. Like, that's the kind of captain that you want. So I think India are going to miss him. I think, he hasn't been playing test games for India that much. And, he's a good old age. I don't actually know how old he is. But let's have a look. But for someone to be doing it and in the game for as long as he has, just under a decade really of just dominating, 39 years of age, I don't think it's a bad chap to say, yeah, that's cool. That's me. I've pretty much put my stamp on the cricketing world as one of the greats, and best of luck to him. And I hope we still get to continue seeing him play.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to continue on with some IPL stuff, isn't he? Because he's quite involved in that, and the Chennai Super Kings, I think he's still quite heavily involved in. So I think we've still got a chance to see him, but yeah, not on that international stage anymore. But yeah, what a player!
What a player!
Good stuff.
Right.
We've gone through that. We've finished. I think we've held off as long as we both can, because we've got.
I was just about to say we were kind of
now. Neither of us can quite concentrate on it until we get this next feature out of the way. So this was, this was an idea that we had last week or so, wasn't it? So we were talking about different test teams, and if you were picking from, anyone, who would you have in your team? And so it came down to the fact that we thought, well, that seems like a good idea. Let's do it. So we are going to pick our own personal teams, but we're going to do it as a draft. So if anybody's a fan of American sports and the way that they do things, it's very much as a draft style. So we have had a toss. We've got who's going to be picking first, and then we're going to basically take it in turns. We're going to switch around the draft order every time. So actually, we might as well announce it now. You won the toss that we had yesterday. So you have the number one pick, and then I will pick second, and then we're going to switch that draft order around for the second round. So then I will pick third, and you will pick fourth, and then you will pick fifth, and so on and so forth. So effectively, how it's going to work is you're going to get first pick, then I get two, then you get two, and then we go all the way through until we have our 11. The rules are, the basic rules are these are current players, and we're picking them I've gone certainly down the line that we're picking them based on how they are playing right now, not how they played in their prime necessarily.
No.
So on their sort of current ability, if these two teams were gonna play off against each other, and it is based around tests as well, so it's very much test based.
It's a test team, yeah.
It is a test team, so we're imagining some amazing, 5-match series happening wherever in the world. So I think that's the rules. I think that's everything, isn't it? We're going to take turns in picking. We're going to then whack our teams together in some kind of funky little graphic and whack it up on Twitter, and you're going to get a chance to vote for which team you prefer. So that's going to be up for about a week or so, and we'll announce the winner next week.
Oh, my goodness.
Is that everything? Oh, the only other thing to say is obviously it has to be a full team, so you have to have people in position, so you have to have openers, batsmen, wicketkeeper, bowlers, etc., etc. So if you pick a team with no spin, that's going to be, to your own detriment.
Yeah. We've done a lot of, there's been a lot of banter between me and Nemo.
There has. There's been a lot of hypothetical talking of, well, I think I know who you're going to pick, so therefore I think I know who I'm going to pick. And then when we try and get the details of it, neither one of us are happy to talk to each other about it. So
no, that's it.
It's going to be really interesting, and I'm going to see where we get to with this. But
okay,
so
right.
we're going to. Yeah, we're going to get going. Basically, as soon as you're ready, we're effectively going to put you on the clock and give you a while. But I mean, I think as you've won the first pick, I think I personally think your first pick is going to be quite an obvious one. I'm expecting you to know who you pick, and if you go off the chart, then I'm going to need a couple of minutes just to figure out what I'm going to do. But there you go. So I'm going to write these teams down as we go. So give me.
I think you're going to be surprised actually, because
don't tell me that.
Yeah, I think for once in my life, I've actually been thinking about the long game and not the names up the top of the order in terms of this draft. And I reckon, should it go to plan, and I have a feeling that you'll respond appropriately, I think it's going to be very tight. But I still reckon I've got this. Shall I announce my first pick then?
Give me 1 second, just so I'm going to get my lists ready. 11, right? Yep, go for it. Who is your number one pick of the wrong end of the stick World Test draft?
For Zach's team, for my team, it's got to be. I had a lot, you could look at ICC rankings, you can look at this, you can look at that, and you can look at batsmen and bowlers and everything else. For me, it's got to be Beefy 2.0. It's got to be the all-rounder from down under. It's Ben Stokes.
Interesting.
Yes, I knew you weren't going to be expecting that.
I didn't think you were going for it. I really didn't. That is interesting. That does mean I'm going to have to readjust some of my plans a little bit, but that's fine. It wasn't a total surprise, to be honest.
No.
I mean, he was obviously
knew.
Yeah, he was obviously going to be in one of my next two picks anyway. But yes, interesting.
Yeah, so I'm starting off with the all-rounder because I think. Well, let's continue on. You've got the next 2 and 3. So
okay. I had a contingency plan with that, so that's absolutely fine. But yeah, there we go. Right, for my pick, oh boy, now who do I put 2 and who do I put 3? It's kind of a prestige thing more than anything, isn't it? So for my first pick, I am going to select from Australia, born in Sydney, I believe, Stephen Smith.
Yeah, of course, I know it. Yeah, that's a fair. And do you know what? For me, it was a toss-up between. It was a toss-up between Steve Smith and Ben Stokes. That's pretty much what it boiled down to. So yeah, no.
Yeah. So I think I have to go for. I think I have to go for this one because I think once I've done this, I think you're in trouble already.
Okay.
I am going to pick for my second pick, number 3 overall from New Delhi, India, Virat Kohli.
Yep, that's cool. I expected that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said before, I think our top 5. So I think all the first 5 picks are relatively obvious picks, to be honest.
Hmm.
I think that there'll be very little difference within our lists, but we shall see. There we go. But I mean, I think about any batting order with Steve Smith and Virat Kohli in,
It's
you're going to have problems with.
it's tasty. I'm not going to lie. Steve Smith at Kohli.
Yeah,
That is not a those aren't batsmen that are mucking about.
there we go. Over to
Okay.
you. You get the next two picks. Number 4 overall, and yeah, your second pick.
Okay. So my second and third.
Oh,
Um,
you doing them together, or are you doing them one at a time?
well, I'll do them one at a time, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my I need to address that actually. Okay. So my next pick
Hmm.
is New Zealand ODI captain for the 2019 cricket tournament, and ranked number 4 for Test batsman. It's Kane Williamson,
Yeah.
the nudger, the noodler, um, the stoic, maybe not as I think recent times, um, the unmovable, but someone that I want at the top order. And
He was who I was expecting you to take with that pick.
okay,
Definitely, I had definitely thought you were going to have him.
okay, cool.
That top 4 is exactly, apart from 1 and 2 being reversed, exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Mm,
So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, no, I definitely thought you'd pick him. I'll be interested to see if you've got who I think you're going to take at number 5. Um,
okay.
yeah.
The thing is, I'm kind of worried. I'm trying to think about what you won't take.
So you have
Or
been
what,
doing that, so I'll be trying to second
yeah.
guess you. It's really difficult.
Um, I do have a plan, and the plan is not too shaken up by your Steve Smith and Virat
I was going to
Kohli.
say, surely you must have predicted that those would be the two I would
Yeah.
take, or because Williamson was in my thought process, but
Mm,
Corley nudged him out. I think Smith and Corley is your two sort of premier batsmen. Yeah, can't go too far wrong with that.
okay. So it's going to be the West Indian captain, Jason Holder.
Oh, interesting. Interesting indeed. Did not see you going with that.
Yeah.
I mean, he
And
was definitely on my list.
mm,
Um, but you've gone 2 all-rounders in the top 3.
yeah, two of
Interesting.
and 1 and 2 ranked all rounders, and there's a specific reason for that. Looking at the test matches that we've had, um, you know, it's very rare for the past kind of 4 or 5 months, apart from certain innings, where your opening batsmen um, are the real winners of an innings or a match. And actually, that fight comes from the middle. And both Stokes and Holder, I wanted them in my side because put them down at 5 and 6. And if you're down, you're on the back foot. I would rely on those two guys. They're athletes. Holder's a tall guy. He's got, really good ability with the ball. Stokes on the bat, that same kind of aggression. They're the same but different, as they'd say in Thailand. And they're both up for the fight. They're both up for a bit of grit. And we've got that stoic Williamson in the mix as well there, just at the top. So let's see what you go now.
Do you want to know where he was on my list? Because I did a massive list of all the players that I'm vaguely interested in. He was 19th on my list.
Really?
Mm. Yeah.
Wow.
That was partly because I was expecting to have Ben Stokes already, because I thought you were going to pick Smith first, and therefore I thought I was going to get Stokes, and therefore I dropped Holder down because I didn't want both of them. But that's interesting. See, I'm now in a little bit, because I know how I'm going to pick for my next one. It's going to be my 4th pick that is going to be an interesting one for me, because as we have discussed before we came on air, things like picking your openers and your wicket keepers, and when do you try and pick that? Do you just go for the best player you think is available, or do you try and fill out your squad a little bit more? And it's really difficult. But for my 3rd pick overall, I am pretty much going to complete any hope you ever had of bowling out this team by picking South African born but playing for Australia, Marnus Labuschagne.
Oh shit! Yes, yeah. Well, do you know what? I thought you weren't going to go there. Yeah, good call. Good call.
Did you not think I was going to pick him? I thought he was going to. I thought you were
you
going
would
with him.
overlook it. I thought you were going to overlook it.
Interesting.
Okay.
No, I thought you would pick him instead of Holder. To be honest, that's where I was expecting.
No, that's where. And do you know what? It's funny you say that because it was a toss-up. After going Kane Williamson, I knew my original plan was that engine of all-rounders in there. But I was thinking, I know he would go for Smith. I'll go for Labuschagne if he picks Smith.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, would he go for Holder? But you wouldn't have picked Holder, I reckon. So I would have been safe going that way.
No, you wouldn't. I would, as you said. I said Holder's way down on my list. He was not top of my thought process at all.
Yeah, good shout. Good shout. Oh, that's a.
I've now got a decision to make because I've now got. I don't know whether to fill wicketkeeper, whether to fill an opener spot, whether to pick an all-rounder, or whether to pick a bowler, and I'm in a bit of a pickle now. Because who I initially had on my list, I don't think I'm picking next. I'm going off script.
Okay.
But I'm just not sure if you're going to. I really want the next guy, but I don't know if I leave it. Are you going to pick it in the next two? It's really difficult. If not, I'm definitely going for him after that. But oh boy, really tricky this. Right, okay. I'm going for the safer pick because he's somebody that I want in my team, and I don't think he would have picked him in the next two.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going for him anyway because he's who I want for my opener. Okay. So I am going to pick. Oh, no. Am I going to pick him? I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to leave him, and I'm going to hope that you don't pick him in the next two, because I think we're just a bit all over the place here.
All right. Okay. What is it?
So right.
I can't wait. It's too much.
I know. Oh, this is too much fun. Right, I am going, and again, I don't think you're going to pick him, but I need to get somebody in there on the bowling side of things. And I am going. I've changed my mind about 8 times in the way that I was literally just trying to go for this, but it's locked in now.
Okay.
So it's not somebody. I don't think we've picked anyone from this country so far. So I am going for the South African quick bowler Kagiso Rabada.
Oh, dude. Okay, that's fine. Actually, that's fine. That was my number 4 on the.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, on the quick bowlers. Yeah.
Oh, on the quick ones, he was only number 4.
Yeah, Kagiso Rabada.
See, I have somebody else that I wanted more than him, but I didn't think he was going to be on your list, so I put him down. I thought Rabada might be higher on your list. You see, this is all bluffs and double bluffs, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's interesting.
Good call.
So I need someone on the bowling side. I've got my batting order is set now. So even if I don't get the openers that I want, you know what? With Smith, Kohli, and Labuschagne, good luck getting them out anyway. So yeah, I need something on the bowling side. There you go. Solid. Right, over to you. You've got picks. Your number pick 4 and 5.
These are easy, mate. Second highest Test match innings, and the new up and coming Indian batsman, Rohit Sharma and David Warner.
Sharma and Warner.
That's my counter to Rohit. I wanted in because I like his style of batting, and I reckon. And I'm appealing to all the wannabe pundits out there about India's kind of progress and the progress that Rohit has made in the Indian squad. David Warner, okay, he's not as unget-outable.
Well, I basically just need to pick Stuart Broad, don't I? And then he's going to get Warner out every single time, as we found out in the Ashes last year. So I need Broad to come into my team now. That changes my thoughts a little bit, but interesting though. I mean that pads out. I mean that's a solid batting lineup.
Yeah.
already. You know, taking
David
shape for
Warner
you
at
then.
3, Kane Williamson and Rohit Sharma. I think you've got the best of both worlds and a
You
really.
put Warner at 3, would you?
I'd put Warner at 3. Yeah, I
Interesting.
think because Sam. I look at Sam Smith and I think, yeah, he comes in at 3. He's like when you
Steve
get
Smith,
the
but you know,
see. Oh yeah, sorry.
stop dissing my first pick. You know,
Just nudging him. No, I think yeah, because I think Kane and Rohit, the way that they bat, very much kind of it's two different sides of the story. And then if you've got Warner in at 3, that kind of counters your well, I don't know who are you opening up with your lot?
I haven't picked my openers yet.
You haven't. Oh, okay, all
Yeah.
right, okay.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Warner was on my list of openers,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I just don't like the guy, so I find it really hard to pick him.
I don't like him either. He was
Uh,
like I say, didn't think you would go Lambouche. I thought once you had Smith
you
that
thought
you
I
just
was
kind
done
of
with the Aussies, but they were just unbreakable, and
they
when
are,
they were
yeah.
together, that's right. Anyway, I've got to get on with my next picks, don't I?
Hmm.
Okay, I definitely know what I'm doing for that one, and I'm not. Yeah, actually, I definitely know what I'm doing for both of these now. Right, so I am going to take care of that opener spot with my next pick, and I am going for from Bangladesh, Tamim Iqbal. He was the one opener that I really wanted. I think he is a fantastic player. I think you stick him in a team like this when he's actually got support around him, and he could, you know, he can take a game away from away from a team on his own. He does it with Bangladesh, as you see anywhere. And I think putting him in the team like this, where he's actually got support, yeah, I think he's a great player. Got a lot of time for him. Probably not on your list, and probably I didn't have to pick him there, but I really wanted him as an opener, so and then I need to get an opener sorted.
Mm.
And I think Iqbal coming in with Smith, Coley, Labuschagne and behind, yeah, whoever I pick as my other opener is going to be fine.
I think a
And
very good choice.
from there, I'm not terribly happy with my wicketkeeper choices, but I am going to pick a wicketkeeper with my number 6 pick, and I am picking from Johannesburg in South Africa, Quinton de Kock.
Oh, you bugger! You knew that I would go for Quinton de Kock. This is an outrage. You've done this to upset me. That was
No, I only had one other.
no,
I only had one other wicketkeeper on my list, and I preferred de Kock, so
no.
I've got to get him in. You could have picked him earlier if you'd liked him that much.
I didn't think you were going to go for him.
What keeper did you think I was going to pick?
I don't know.
You should have thought that through. Because he was one I was tempted over last time, but I didn't think you were going to pick him that high up. So yeah, there you go. So
those are my two main South African drafts here. I don't think.
I don't think I had anybody else South African. Oh no, I have got another one on my list, so you never know. I might be going back to the pool of South Africans.
Oh.
But yeah, there we go. So I currently have Tamim Iqbal opening. I've got a Gap as my second opener. Then I've got Labuschagne, Smith, Coley, and de Kock.
It's good.
Before Rabada is down the order with the bowling. I've got to fill out some bowlers here, but so have you, to be fair.
Yeah, it's looking good. I think you've made some good choices there. Tamim Iqbal,
to be fair, Roy Chalmers is a really solid choice from you as well. That is a good choice.
Mm.
Right, go on. You're number 6 and 7 picks now.
Okay, so I'm gonna get my wicketkeeper out of the way. Then I'm gonna go for my backup. I've got 2, but after the performance I've seen over the past kind of week or so, I'm going to go Mohammad Rizwan, Pakistan's wicketkeeper. Really good in the air. Doesn't drop many. He's in the game. I think he's got good vision. And he can perform in other areas as well. I like him as a wicketkeeper. Watching him, he's a man that if you're going to get an edge, he'll get the job sorted. So,
Yep.
Okay. Oh God. Oh.
I'm intrigued what you're going to do with your openers, because you still don't have any openers. If you're putting Warner at 3, you still don't have any openers, which is really interesting. So I'm intrigued.
Rohit Sharma.
Oh, you're going to have Sharma opening. Okay.
Yeah, because they're going to. It's new for him. It's a new position, so I'm taking a bit of a gamble. But going back to what we're discussing with MS Dhoni, Dhoni's been pushing for Rohit to get up the order and thinks he'll be performing better at India. It's kind of fitting that he's retired from international cricket, and then in their next Test series, Rohit Sharma is now going to be fit. Been picked as the opening batsman for me with Warner in lieu of.
Yeah, have you changed your mind on Warner? You put in Warner.
Yeah, I'm going to put Kane at 3. Yeah, just to.
And that's solid. Yeah, that is solid.
My second pick, it's kind of a toss up, really. Oh man, this is horrible.
You've been looking forward to this for a week.
I know. I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to go Pat Cummins.
Yeah, good choice. He was on the list.
Yeah, I thought it would be. I was kind of thinking, do I leave it? And I you said, I've got to think about bowlers, and I'm gonna nip in there and just get him out.
Yeah, no, it's a very good, solid choice. You can't say that. He's very, very good bowler. Okay. Right, it's back to me, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to pick what I want from this. Right, I don't think you're going to pick them. So I think I'm fine. And even if you pick one, I can get the other one, so that's fine. So that means I think I do need to think about. Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to pick him, but no, I'm going for it because you picked some people I wouldn't necessarily have expected already. So I can't predict what you're going to do. But I am going to go for my own pick, number 7 from India. 26-year-old Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, good choice.
I know he's only played 14 tests, but he's taken 5 wicket hauls already, 68 wickets. He's just looking like he's going to be an absolutely amazing player for a long time to come.
Good choice.
So I think that's so I think that's a good solid choice, and I think with him and Rabada, they're my 2 opening bowlers now, and I think that's a good solid start to my bowling.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I've literally just as we've been speaking, I've added somebody else to my list that I hadn't thought about before. So I'm just trying to think of how many. So I've got 4 more players to fill. I'm just thinking about what needs I still have. I still need 2 bowlers, an opening batsman, and something else. So I think I am going to 1, 2. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to balance out how many people I've got from each different team as well. So I think what I am going to do is pick another quick bowler, and yeah, I am. I'm going to go for Mitchell Starc.
Yeah.
Because I think, there's 3 of, with Starc, Bumrah, and Rabada. They're scary quick, although it's a little bit one-dimensional, but also exceptionally consistent. So yeah, there we go. That's my top 3 bowlers.
Mitchell Stark's a good all-rounder as well.
Yeah, he can bat as well. He's got some batting in him as well. So
yeah, I think Bumrah and Stark, I think probably a bit more conservative than what I was expecting from you, but in terms of the bowling attack. But at the same time, I think really good picks for an international test side. Right. Okay. Um, hmm,
It's getting difficult at this point, doesn't it?
it does. It does. I don't know whether to get Rooty in or. Hmm. I'll tell you what. No. I'm going to get these guys in, and then I'm just going to work around. Actually, no. Tell you what I'm going to do.
It's so hard to work out, isn't it?
It's a
I
lot.
hope this is good podcasting. I hope people are enjoying this because I'm it's like, what do I do? What do I do?
I think everyone who wants to kind of if they want to put a comment to it and say, "Nah, this is the team," then yeah, feel free to, because I think there's a good amount of discussion for a test lineup. All right, tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to very simply nip this. Oh, we need a bit more patriotism in the fold, and who better than to bring back Stuart Broad?
Interesting. Yeah.
We got
Basically, so I can't have him, and Warner's might have a chance of staying in.
Well, I mean, I would have gone Anderson, to be honest, because I think Pat Cummins, Anderson, you've got two different approaches on pace bowling there,
Hmm.
and I think Broad, although not completely different from Cummins, I think adds a little bit of variety, and then we've got all sort of conditions almost covered, I reckon, apart from maybe some dodgy pitches, but that always works in our favour anyway, doesn't it? And I'm going to get my specialist spin in. Watching him play over the kind of this England-Pakistan test, um, like I've heard Warner, he's kind of smitten with him. If you look at the kind of he's got those variations of spin. He's all about the intellectual fight. And actually, it was a toss-up between Nathan Lyons and this dude, but it's got to be Yasir Shah, I think, for my specialist spinner. I've got too many Aussies in my team, so
No worries. That's not a bad thing because I wasn't wanting him. I preferred Lion, and so I
yeah,
think I might as well make that my next pick of Nathan Lyon. I
yeah,
think we need a specialist spinner in there, and I think
yeah.
Nathan Lyon is it for me. I think he's the best spinner in the world,
Hmm.
personally.
Yeah,
And
the difference
just
is Yasir Shah can bat, by the way, just saying.
Nathan Lyon's no slouch with the bat. He's not.
No,
Um,
he's not.
so I still have a opener spot to fill, and I still have another bit of a wild card one to fill. And I think I am going to go with, and it's which order do I put these in? So I've got a choice of two, and they're two Indian spinning all rounders. And I'm not sure which one to pick, to be honest with you. But what I am going for, and I know this is a debate within India itself, but I am going to go with Ravi Ashwin. So if there is any sort of turn in this pitch, you've got Lyon and Ashwin to deal with. So.
Okay. What is he? So is he?
So he's a all rounder, but he's a spinning all rounder. So he is.
Okay.
I take it he wasn't on your list at all.
No.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, so he's a spinner, but he's handy with the bat as well. So I think he adds a nice bit of balance to my team. So those three premier fast bowlers are going to need a bit of rest. So Ashwin and Lyon are going to provide that for them, and that's going to be my attack: Ashwin, Lyon, Stark, Bumrah, and Rabada.
Okay. So I've got one more left, don't I?
You've got two more left.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I've got two more. Oh, damn. Got Pat Cummins, Broad, Yasir Shah. I've got backup for overs in Stokes and Holder. Williams at 3. Warner, Rohit Sharma.
It's very interesting, I think, the way that we had approached this, because I've very much gone for specialists for the most part, and you've gone for giving yourself options.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, and it's going to be really interesting seeing what happens on the polls of who likes which one better. But it's going to be close.
I think okay. I am going to throw no, actually, I'm not going to try and stat this out. I'm going to go for Ravindra Jadeja.
Oh, he was the one I was debating between him and Ashwin.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I almost went for him. Yeah, it was almost pretty much a coin toss.
Yeah. I like his sword dance, his sword celebration. That's why I'm picking him.
yeah, I mean that should have tipped it over the edge for me. But yeah, it was very close between those two. So actually, of the 4 all-rounders I wrote down, you've taken 3 of them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wanted like a good kind of core, because I've seen so many times where it's the upper middle order. We're spoilt for choice in terms of like premium pace bowlers. I think Broad, Anderson, Pat Cummins, Trent Bolt, Tim Southey, Chris Wokes. I don't know any of the West Indians ones. Kemal Roach, I know he's good, but he didn't do too well in the last series. Like, there's so many good bowlers that are always going to be taking wickets, whether it's 2 to 4, 5, 6 wickets in a match. But for me, it was always like kind of the top order. In the middle that I just wanted to make was just like a strong core. I mean, last one then.
Yeah, you've got your last pick now.
So I've got 2 specialist bowlers. A specialist spin with a bit of who can bat and can do some other stuff too. I've got Stokes, I've got Rizwan behind the wickets, I've got Holder, I've got Ravindra, I've got Warney, Sharma and Kane. I feel like a number 4 is needed, but it doesn't leave the tail too bad. It doesn't leave the tail bad at all, really, actually. Or do I get another bowler into the attack? Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
I don't know. I'm hoping people are liking to hear our agonising. This is.
I might have made a really 2 specialist days with 3 all-rounders.
God, you're on the clock now.
Yeah, Mohammed Abbas.
Oh, interesting. Yep.
Yeah, Mohammed Abbas from Pakistan.
I think that's the right call of the right type of player.
Yeah.
I think that's the right type of player you should have gone for. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Whew.
So my final pick. Don't forget, I've got one more.
I know.
So I'm going a bit out there. I still need an opening partner for Iqbal. And I'm just going for him partly because the things like you've done for watching him and being really impressed recently. I am going from Pakistan, my only Pakistan player, I think, Babar Azam.
Yeah.
I know he's not sort of strictly a test opener, but he is for me. And I think Azam and Iqbal opening with Smith, Kohli, and Labuschagne all coming in behind. I think they've got potential to put the amount of runs on the board that we need. So there we go.
I think
to run through the team. So you have Ben Stokes, Ken Williamson, Holder, Roach Harmer, Warner, Rizwan, Cummings, Broad, Shah, Jadeja, and Abbas.
Yep.
And I have Smith, Kohli, Labuschagne, Rabada, Iqbal, De Kock, Bumrah, Stark, Lyon, Ashwin, and Azam.
I don't know. You might clinch it.
I have to say, I was offered both those teams. I'd prefer mine.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards yours just on name. kind of basis. But I don't know. We'll have to leave it to listeners. We'll into the.
I have to say, because I wrote down what my sort of ideal team would have been before we started. I've got 7 of that 11, which isn't bad.
That's good.
I'll take that. You nicked Cummings from me. You nicked Stokes from me. You nicked Williamson from me. It's all the kind of ones that are right at the top of yours that I kind of wanted. But I'll take that.
I'm gonna. Well, I can't even. Lambert, I think I would have preferred either Lambert or Coley on the side, but I knew I had that game plan of getting a secure middle.
It's very interesting how that will work. But we'll see what people like. We're going to put that up on Twitter. So if you go to at Wrong End Podcast, there will be a poll out where you can see those 2 teams, and let us know what you think. Comment on it and tell us where we went horribly wrong. All right.
Yeah. And if you want to share your dream test as well, let us know.
Give us your dream 11 as well. That would be good. It's interesting to see. But yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. A lot of agonising, but I liked it.
It was a lot of agonising. I'm not very good at chess. It was like the worst game of chess I've played.
It was. He was trying to pick who you weren't going to pick and think, terrifying. Right, shall we do Seemingly Stumped before we wrap up for the day?
Yes, yeah.
Good times. Right, have you got one for me, or would you like me to go
I've got one, and it's I've been on YouTube recently just looking at Cricket Australia kind of videos, and there was one video that used this term, and I didn't know what it meant. It is cricket related, or it can be cricket related, but it's also just an all-round slang. So, I don't think any, minus points if you don't get it. But this one is a nuffy.
Can you spell it? A nuffy?
Yeah, a nuffy, like Nufy, nuffy.
Well, I presume it's the equivalent of a duck. It's like somebody getting nothing. Or hang on, but don't take that as my answer. Mm-hmm. Or is it something that where is it a ball that you bowl that they get nothing from? Okay. It's one of those two is what I would say. I mean, I think the thing is there's a duck. There's so many things.
Interesting.
From that. So I think I'd probably nudge towards it being a ball that you can get nothing from. Okay. I presume.
So like an unplayable ball, it is definitely not that.
Interesting.
A nuffy, so it's an Australian slang, and it's kind of derogatory. And a broader term for it is as it's written here, a person with a disability, particularly intellectual. A person who's stupid, Australian slang, but it's also predominantly Australia slang for, in the cricket context, someone who is an obsessive fan of a sport, particularly of cricket. So the YouTube video was about who's the biggest nuffy in the team, and it's
interesting.
Yeah, and they were actually saying Smith and Labuschagne, they're always ghost batting and watching cricket, watching different leagues, doing all of that kind of thing, and they're the biggest.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's new. That's good. I like that. That's entirely new to me. I like learning new stuff. I'll take that. Yeah, that's good. Right. Do you want yours?
Yeah.
I think you will know yours, but it's a kind of a new thing, and out of context, you might not notice what it is. So mine for you is a beehive.
So beehive.
Yep. So in a cricketing context, what is a beehive?
Oh man, I feel like have you ever thrown a stick at a beehive?
No, I haven't.
Well, if anyone out there, I don't recommend it, but if you ever throw a rock or a stick at a beehive or hornet's nest, shit happens. So I reckon a beehive. I reckon a beehive, is it when you've been delivered a ball as a batsman, you strike it and it goes a good distance, but actually it was part of the plan, you get caught out?
Absolutely it's not. We are very much proving we don't know a lot of these obscure cricketing terms today. The beehive is a graphic that you will see pop up when you're watching. And do you know when you see that graphic of all the different coloured balls? So you've got the visual of the wicket, and
yes.
you've got all the dotted balls where all the balls have gone.
Yeah.
That is known as a beehive, because in theory they should all concentrate around, that off stump kind of thing, and then there'd be a few dotted around further out of that looks a bit like a beehive. I mean, for
Oh,
us that graphic would be called a scattergun, I think, but
yeah.
yeah, that is because it's supposed to all cluster at the same point. But yeah, so that's what it is. It's actually more of a statistical, like visual representation of what's been happening.
Yeah, of course. That makes so much sense. Like most of them clumped together and a few stragglers here and
Yeah,
there. And
yeah, exactly.
ah,
So there you go. That's a beehive.
beautiful. Yeah, I like that.
Good stuff. Right,
Cool.
are we done?
I think we're done.
I think I'm going to lose my voice if I talk for much longer. So. All right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. Do go on to Twitter at Wrong End Podcast. Have a look at the teams we put up. See what you think. Have a vote. Vote for my team because it's just better. And yeah, get in touch with us. Let us know what you think, and we will see you next time.
See you next time, guys. And vote for me.
Cool. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Take care.